because this is the hardest job. And I believe this is the hardest job, not just that I do, but on all of media. It's very difficult. And the reason why it's difficult is because you cannot lie for 3 hours a day. You are who you are. And people see it. People see it. But you can lie in sound bites. But do people care about the truth? Or are we just spoon-fed things? For instance, do I just spoon-feed you your opinions? If I do, please don't ever call yourself a fan of mine. I want you to think for yourself. I want you to see what I see and then say, well, I agree with that, or I disagree with that, or I don't know if that's even true. That can't be true. And you go and you research it yourself. What I miss honestly. Now I want you to listen to this whole monologue because I want you to understand what I'm saying about Dick Morris. Dick Morris, as you probably know, he predicted pretty much the same thing that I predicted. But he was wrong. I was wrong. But I was wrong and I believed it. Last night I read a story on Politico that when Morris was asked about this, he told the truth about why he predicted a Romney landslide. And I read it yesterday afternoon on the way home, and it was disturbing. Stu and I were on the phone immediately. Look at this. Look at this. And I gave him a long list of things that I said, we have to talk to the American people about this. Morris said, according to Politico, that he only predicted a landslide because he wanted to help Romney. Listen to the audio.
It's a period of time when the Romney campaign was falling apart. People were not optimistic. Nobody thought there was a chance of victory. And I felt that it was my duty at that point to go out and say what I said.
Got it? That's shocking. He thought it was his duty to go out and say what he said because people didn't believe that Romney could win. I'm reading the story from Politico, and I cannot believe it. He just wanted to help Romney? It's one thing to be wrong. It's another thing to knowingly lie to your audience. It's another thing. That is the opposite of the blaze. The truth has no agenda. I thought it was my duty to say these things. Stay with me to the end of this monologue. Now, this is not the first time that I've seen major media figures admit that they will not tell the truth to their own audiences. I was told by a very well-known and respected financial expert that he would not talk to me about financial collapse because, quote, it would make it more likely. Even though he believed much of the stuff that I said was going to happen, he said we had a responsibility to never have that conversation on the air. I said, well, what happens if it does? You're telling people that it's okay, that everything's going to be all right. They won't be prepared. Yes, but if we have that conversation, because we have credibility, then it's more likely that it will happen. Well, what are you talking about? Are you preparing? Are you battening down the hatches? Are you being more cautious? Well, of course. Oh, but you want to go on the air and tell everybody, don't worry. We've seen this before. I had another executive tell me that despite the fact that we all knew that what I was saying was true, quote, we have a responsibility to not tell the American people the truth. A responsibility to not tell the truth? Man, I'm sorry. I seem to recall, I was told by somebody else that I have a responsibility to not lie. How was that worded to me? I think it was, quote, thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not lie. I don't care how big of an executive you are, I can guarantee the guy who wrote those 10 safety tips has a bigger title than you do. Another big media mogul said to me, Glenn, please, let's stop playing this game. We both love the Constitution, but we both know that sometimes you have to do what you have to do. End quote. No. What you have to do at all times is tell the truth. Trust your audience. Trust the American people to have some intelligence. Stop treating them like imbeciles, because you're creating imbeciles. And loving the Constitution means always working to strengthen and honor the Constitution. Look, we all honor our marriage certificate.